everyone. I think I'm just gonna start billing myself as the only sane one on this broadcast.
Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin.
There we go. Cranky isn't cranky anymore. Alyssa's cranky.
You know what I want to see in the forest? I want to see a unicorn. Want all you want. Wish in one hand, but poop in the other.
Well, hello, fellow addicts. Welcome back to Addicts Live. Yes, we're back again. The Addicts crew is back to bring you Simpsons news and Saturday smiles. I'm Alissa, your resident head addict, and my co-hosts this week are the harder to find than a Yeti, our resident fuzzball, the Wookster.
I find myself all the time, but
Do you know that I've waited?
Show us your hands right now, Wookiee. Come on. Okay.
I've been waiting to use that line, Wook, since I saw you in April. That's how long it's been since you've been on the show. And our resident bracket
been
battle.
sitting on comic gold.
Our resident bracket battle master himself, Super Safi.
Hello, everyone.
And the man who would give Mr. Home Depot a run for his money, Patric.
Yeah, it's Jerry's all the way. Jerry's and Lowe's. Home Depot, no. Anyway, yeah, it's crazy. I'm not there yet, folks. I'm not there yet. So close.
So typically, this is where I would add the reminder that the show is meant to be interactive, but due to some issues with YouTube pulling the software we've been using to bring you the live stream, we're no longer live. Well, we're recording it live, but we're not live to you guys watching.
Live in front of a studio audience recorded earlier.
This is real life, isn't it?
Yeah, we're live. We're recording live, but we're not live to those watching. So it is kind of a bummer that we're not able to interact with you guys watching and listening as the show is going on. But recording does have some advantages. Like, for example, all of us are here. It's a Tuesday night. All of us are here. I mean, I'll trade off getting for not having it live. I think that's a good trade-off. So, boys, it's been a minute since we've all gotten together. Has everyone been enjoying their summer? I haven't seen you guys. Joe, I haven't talked to you in a while, but everyone else I haven't seen since June. So, be enjoying the summer?
Yeah, it's nice not to be in school.
So that's good. Apparently, you're the only one enjoying summer, because...
No.
Well,
I'm
Pat,
enjoying the fact that I don't have to shovel, so that's always a plus.
you don't have to shovel sunshine. That's what I always say. But Pat, you were in Jersey. That's, that was part of your summer.
That was my summer. Yeah, the 10 days we spent in Jersey was my summer vacation. That was it. And then we came back to not summer. Or vacation.
Getting attacked by carpenter ants.
Yeah.
And Saf's been traveling all over the world on his super secret spy missions.
Always.
Yes.
Busy with travel.
No. Dilettantes, their world leaders have died, so I'm pretty sure.
It's true.
Not that we know of.
Sure.
So on our end, we've got today's Tuesday, which we're recording this on August 20th. When this goes live, which ideally it'll be the 24th, which is Saturday, it will be Sam's. It won't be his first birthday, but it will be his first birthday party. So that's been our summer. We've been
Woo-hoo.
Guys. He's won.
What's the theme?
Baseball.
What a surprise! I'm shocked.
Well, it was almost.
So Yankees or Phillies?
It's baseball neutral. There's
Or
no.
just
We didn't
baseball?
Go Blue Jays.
Wow.
baseball neutral, and it's red, white, and blue. So.
Blue Jays.
Could be Blue Jays. Yeah. There we go.
Angels.
It's baseball neutral. But yeah, I mean, he's won. I mean, that went quick. That went really quick. It went quicker than when Riley turned one.
Oh yeah.
That went really quick. So anyway, because it's been a little while since our last show, I want to take a brief step back from our current Simpsons Babies event and hit the rewind to last month and talk about Flanders Family Reunion since we didn't get together for that. So guys, what were your thoughts on Flanders Family Reunion mini event?
I liked it better than this one. I was thinking at the top.
Okay.
So
Well, you don't like multiple multiple versions of different characters. You don't like that. We know that.
The time-space continuum was tragically broken. Even when Charles tried to convince me that it was all multi-universes, it's like, nah, they don't fold into each other like that. Sorry. I didn't want to get into it with Charles. Everybody's sick of debates with Charles, so we'll just leave it at that. I didn't buy it.
I liked it as much as this event. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
That's about as mean as Safi ever gets, right there. Completely neutral. Nice one, Saf.
I mean, you got Canadian Flanders.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you don't know how I feel about this one. I really like this one, and I really like that one. So
Sure,
I got Canadian Flanders. I got the barbecue area and like a bunch of like Flanders mobs. So it looks like the Flanders Backyard is full of Flanderses having Flanders's barbecue. So yeah, I really liked it.
No, I do agree that the whole thing with all the Flanders wandering around is hilarious. I mean, there's so many weird instances where 2 or 3 of them are just wandering around together. It's like hilarious. So that I did like that.
What were your thoughts?
I mean, other than the fact that obviously, like Jay the intern or whoever programmed it, like really likes that episode, and everything for the Flanders is it.
Oh no, Joe froze. Oh no.
Okay, I thought it was me.
Frozen, bud.
Are basically home as hell.
We totally missed your point because you froze.
I was just saying basically TSTO is now Homer's hell.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I like the Flanders group, so when you tap all of them at once, it's like this sounds really awesome. But yeah, it was an interesting mini event. Everybody seemed to really like it. I don't know if it was because the E3 event was or E4 event was kind of a letdown, or if the mini events before that were kind of a bummer, or just everybody loves Flanders, so everybody loved getting multiple versions of Flanders. I was kind of... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
I was just
go
going to
ahead.
say, I will say that the writing still is maintaining. It's still the best part of these updates for me. The writing is pretty funny.
Yeah, no, the writing's still really, really good on every event lately.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like the writers have got their ego boosted a little bit when we have been promoting how well the dialogue has been. So they've been pumping out good dialogue as a reward, which is nice. I was a little bummed, though, we didn't get some of the other Flanders family members because they really just took, I mean, like they're famous for doing, taking a blip of something and putting it into the game, but they took blip characters that really had no storyline, no background whatsoever, and created full quest lines for them with, some kind of storyline to tie with it. It was kind of like, almost like getting a mini episode of just Flanders family with Lord Thistlewick. They really spun that off. And Ted Flanders, I mean, what was up with him being a pothead? But aside from that, I was kind of bummed we didn't get like Jose Flanders. I thought that would have been funny. So there were a few things they could have done.
Where do you think he got his pot, for God's sake?
Well, the thing with Ted that was interesting, and Canadian Flanders too. Canadian Flanders isn't even a Flanders; it's just the Canadian version of Ned Flanders. He's not related, and that would have made more sense to me if that was attached to the herbal spinach cart. But Ted Flanders comes out. I mean, in the episode, he's like the nicest guy. There's no, he's got 2 little girls. Like there was absolutely no indication that he would be selling herbal spinach. So it was kind of interesting. Like Ned's parents, that makes sense, but it just was like a weird twist off. And why didn't we get Ted's daughters? That would have been cool.
I don't think you figured it out. The writers were all simply promoting the fact that herbal spinach is now legal in a zillion states, including as well as Canada. That was their whole deal to me. It was like,
Well-
oh, let's talk about it.
Well, yeah, but in some indications, in some aspects, I felt like you had to be on herbal spinach to enjoy it. So it just some of
There you
it
go.
just didn't make sense to me. And Wook, as our resident, expert on all things The Simpsons, I mean, I'm sure you kind of felt some feelings towards the fact that they took characters that were a blip and made a full storyline, background, and everything to them. But also, like, why Ted being the herbal spinach guy?
It was very why the entire thing. Like, I enjoyed it, but somebody was on the herbal spinach when they were picking the Flanders is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously. It was just like they were, I don't know. It's legal, but,
Yeah, the characters they pick now are more a test just to see, like, do you even Simpsons, bro? Like, do you know what this is? So
Well, I know that, like, people were excited to get Canadian Flanders, and the fact that all three of those characters were voiced was huge. And they said some really funny things, and I'm not upset that we got those characters. I just thought some of the storylines were weird. And then, like, they really could have done more with it, really make it a full family reunion. They could have done a full, 4-week event out of it. I'm sure there were plenty of more things they could have added.
They could have had him wearing a Blue Jays outfit, for instance. Little details like that.
I mean, it is nice that Canadian Flanders will use Duff Stadium. So you've got a character beyond Duff Band to use it, which is nice. But yeah, I don't know. That was my own. But the other thing too is with this mini event with past the E4 event and then now Simpsons Babies, the buildings and everything all make sense in the context of the event, but they don't necessarily make sense in the context of how to plan your town, with those items. They don't really work together so much. Like they fit the theme, like Left Mazan fit, the Flanders theme, but same with Humbleton, but it didn't. How the hell are you supposed to put them in your game? They don't, you got to really just separate them from what you're doing. They don't work together. They don't flow together.
Shall I just get this out of the way now? The buildings are almost lost on me because of the item limits. Raise them. I mean, I'm literally down now to having to pull, flowers and stuff. My town is becoming sparse on flowers and trees. I'm starting to be irritated by it. So,
You're starting to
how
lose
hard is
oxygen.
this? I'm sorry?
You're losing oxygen.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, the point being, we know there's no arbitrary limit. It's a joke. It's just programming. It's not a big deal. To raise it 100, a couple hundred on every update, do it. Be done.
Well, as an aside from that, what we're seeing with this last event, the crashing issues, there are still a lot of people playing on old devices and actually getting upset that their game's having issues. Like, people were commenting that they were playing on, tablets that were 5, 6, 7 years old, and I'm like, I'm surprised you're still using it, honestly, because
or
my
Kindle
tablet
version 1s. There's still some Kindle 1s out there.
My tablet that's like 4 years old doesn't even run any. I can't play TSTO on it. It runs like a dinosaur. It's T-Rex with a big head and little arms. But it's so I think because they haven't eliminated support for a lot of those older devices, they're slow at raising the limits because they don't know how stable it's going to make. And I think they just need to rip the Band-Aid off and say, you know what, if you have a device that's 5+ years old, sorry, we're not supporting it anymore. I mean, they did that when Krusty Land came out. My iPad 1, which was only 2.5 years old or 2.5 years old at that point, they didn't support it anymore. So I was out of luck. I couldn't play it on my iPad anymore.
I just think that if you're going to punish somebody who has an old device and not me, who has really good devices and even now has to dump, pictures and stuff off my iPad to be able to have enough space. So the last update, I had to go clear a bunch of videos and pictures out again. So yeah.
Well, I mean,
I'll deal with that.
Within reasonable limits, like you don't have to have like the newest brand new device that just came out. But to the same extent, if you've got something that's 5 years old, it's going to run slow. It's going to be, it really should be obsolete because that technology in there is not supporting, it's light years behind what's coming out now. It's one thing to go from 1 year to the next or 2 years forward or backwards, but to go back 5, 6, 7 years, I mean, I'm not, it's 2019. My computer has Windows 10 on it. I'm not loading up DOS. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to adjust and change, and it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have the best device there is out there, the highest processor, the best memory, all that. But you should have something, a little newer. You want to use a new processor, not something that came out 15 years ago. I mean, within reason.
Yeah.
Two basic rules.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but that's my own personal, because I've moderated so many comments about people griping about crashing on older devices. Newer devices, I can understand being mad, but an older device and it crashing and you're mad. I mean,
The only device they're going to support is the iPair, and you should go watch the episode where that makes sense for you.
anyway, back to the reunion and off of Pat's random tangent item limit rant.
Sorry. I said we'll just get it out of the way. Now we're out of the way.
It's true. It's true. So, I mean, what did you guys end up doing with the stuff from the Flanders event? I mean, did you incorporate it? Did you dump it? Did you store it? What did you do? I mean, Joe, I know you have everything in your town, but I don't know if it went anywhere useful.
I think like my strip mall got the left Mazan, and then Humbleton went up into the Harry Plopper area, and I think I just found like what I thought it like went with, and just spread it to the four corners of the wind, which is sort of what's going to happen with this current event.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm currently plopping the current stuff. I have some random isthmuses and islands that I'm dropping things into, but yeah, the other event, no, I had no problem putting stuff around. That was all fun,
The Flanders one?
Yeah, I thought it was all fun. It was easy to find places to put it.
Wook, were you going to say something
Yeah,
else?
No, I
agree with
mean,
Pat.
but yeah, like I actually like the E3 event, so I think I like that one more than these two. So.
Well, I didn't mind that event. I just meant the stuff was,
Yeah.
some of it was a little harder to fit in, like the arenas and all that stuff. A lot of that stuff for me went in storage. Not all of it, but a lot of it.
Yeah.
Saf, what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
I was just saying I agree with Pat. It was really easy to plop down stuff from the Flanders event. A lot of it went into Flanders Backyard, like the barbecue banner and the family.
Mhm.
But yeah, I like the overall content that we received in that event.
Yeah, I mean, I ended up, my left Mazan replaced my Zenith City Times building. Because I was kind of like, I don't need this. So I just replaced that with the left Mazan because it was set up well enough. And then my herbal spinach cart went to my Springfield Heights area. But, all right, anyone else?
This cart went where we're supposed to go, which is in my homage to Woodstock 4.
Anyone else have anything they want to say about Flanders Family Reunion?
I think mine's like over by if you eat Wiggum's chili and really want to go to the next level, you can stop by their booth.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, there's like a little.
It's a loop. It's a loop. You get the happy cabbage, and then you have to have chili, and then you go back to the happy cabbage.
Yeah.
People stand there for days. Yeah.
And it's like right there amongst all the sports arenas, including like where you could watch like skateboarders. So it seems just like, yeah, makes sense.
That makes sense there. Anyone else have anything they want to add about Flanders Family Reunion? No. Quick letter grade, Saf.
I'm gonna go with B+.
Wook.
B+ sounds good.
Me
Pat.
too. Me too.
4 for 4. I'd say B+ is right there. Would have been an A if they had Jose Flanders. Just saying.
I feel like that's the first time we've ever had all four with the same grade.
Yeah, because you guys still think Bart Royale was good.
I think if there was
I
a
just don't think he was as
rhinoceros
bad
SS
as you thought it was.
All right, so Simpsons Babies, which is what we're currently in now. By the time this goes live, it'll be week 3. We're talking. It's the night before week 3 is going to hit. So we're going to talk in context because we should all know what's coming, at least vaguely. So we'll talk in context of all 3 weeks. But before we get into that, there is going to be a poll question that'll be posted in the show notes, which is the initial impressions on Simpsons Babies. Your responses are great. Love it so far. It's good. Next question is, it's good. Really happy with the new content. Then it's okay. Not great. Not bad. Just happy to have new stuff in TSTO. Meh. It's lame, but I'll deal with it. Awful. I hate it. I'd rather no update than this or something else. Guys, what are your initial opinions based on the poll responses?
Meh, it's lame, but I'll deal with it.
Okay. That's a rare one from Wook.
Yeah.
This is the first event in a while that I feel bored.
Okay.
And like I don't play that much. I'm lucky if I can get onto my game like once or twice a day now, just with like full-time work. And I'm finishing Saturday.
Yeah.
And like I'm barely playing. So I guess that's rad for everybody to be able to get stuff, but normally I'm like coming down to the wire and maybe even spending donuts at the end to get stuff. And now I'm just like, oh, and then I don't know, I just don't really care about, they're not babies, they're toddlers, so why is it a big deal? And like, you know what I mean? And,
Thanks. Thank you for clarifying that.
and
Or as I call them sub-schoolers now. So
yeah, it's just sort of like, okay. And like it's a little gross and weird, like to babies to talk like adults. Like go back and watch that like Bruce Willis movie, like where it's like the baby talking like an adult. It's not that great.
Well,
No.
the only reason they can talk like adults is because they actually the writers went back in and brought back the Uncle Herb baby translator. Like I was like, that's a cool throwback, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. It's fine.
It's a good justification in my mind. But all right, before we dive further in, Safi, what would you say based on the poll?
I would say it was good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I like the euthanization and
Euthanization.
It's just fun to say, euthanization.
and I like the content. Excited to get the Bleeding Gums Murphy Cloud. So yeah.
as the oldest member of this team, I'm not wild about the term euthanization. Just saying. I don't want to go to Denmark and take the long goodbye. So the I'm more with I'm really more with Wook on this, in that it's good. It's really good timing for me because I am busting 14-hour days of craziness right now, and to be able to go and just tap kind of very randomly and still finish by Saturday, it's like and I'm not rushing it. I mean, I don't even care. I'm not donut farming. I don't care. I'm just blowing out, doing like a regular person, you know. And it's really easy, super easy.
So I mean, I would be in the it's good, really happy to have new content category, because I do, for me, the writing is a lot of it, because that to me makes the whole event in my opinion. You know, because content at this point, if you've been playing as long as we have, you know, you're going on 7 years of TSTO. Content is content. There's really not much in the game except for the giant toilet that we all really want that isn't there.
And human mod.
Yes, and human mod. But,
and Jose Flanders.
And Jose.
Human mod. I had to laugh because what's hilarious is that that Friday filler I wrote about hating the whole, you know, altered whatever. And I was going through and I was going to go, oh yeah, Safi does a poll. Let's go see what it was. It was human mod. I was like, no! Now my head is exploding. Now we have not only old, young, medium age people wandering around, but dead and alive of the same character. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Be a skin. I think the implication is That human mod would be.
Yeah, that's for the most desired skin.
Yeah.
That's even weirder.
I mean,
It's like it's like you sit there with your
literally
finger and go,
skin.
alive, dead, alive, dead, alive, dead, alive. That's too godlike. No.
you do it right next to the black hole where Grandpa's feeding the pigeon. Yeah. I mean,
Here, gone. Here, gone. Here, gone.
I know
Yeah.
I froze, but with all the Flanders in my town now, it is officially Simpsons hell for Homer.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
alive, dead, whatever. Babies, toddlers, meh.
Yeah, I think we've far long ago crossed the realm of sanity in Springfield. But the overall process of the event, I think that yes, this is really easy to do, but it's August, which generally for most folks is crazy busy time because you're either going back to school, gearing up to go back to school, kids. You're trying to get in your last minute summer vacations. You're trying to get in your last minute summer projects you were trying to finish, like you should have been doing years ago, Mr. Pat.
Stupid house.
So it's great because it's really easy. I mean, the goals are 50, 100, 100, 100, 100. Like you can, if you have all the characters, you clear it twice and you're done. It's that simple. So you can do this, and depending on how many times a day you log in. I saw folks finish Thursday night. It's not difficult at all. But that's nice. It's good and it's bad. It's bad in the sense that it's a little boring, but it's really good in the sense that.
I'm cracking up. I'm sorry. I'm looking at Safi. He looks like where's Waldo here? You gotta tilt your camera down a little bit, dude.
Well,
You're hiding behind Alyssa's curtain on my screen. It's hilarious. Who's the guy in World War II and just the nose sticks out?
On my screen, there's Safi, and then Pat. And Safi cut his face in half, and then your face was cut in half too. So it was this weird, half Safi, half Pat, creation. And I was trying to not laugh. As you were grumping and he was smiling. It was pretty great.
Satric. Our yin and yang Satric.
You did say yin and yang.
Get off my lawn, Toronto!
That's what I want in my town. Satric Flanders.
I like it.
Love it.
All right.
The question is, will he have a task at the herbal spinach cart?
No. Sorry.
So, but yeah, so the event is, it's easy. It's really easy. But like I said, it's got its good points and its bad points to that. The bad point is it's not very engaging. It doesn't really keep you involved in the game. But that really, events haven't been like that in a while. I.e., bring back stonecutters puzzles, please.
I don't want to rain on your happiness, but it feels like we're making a lot of excuses for somebody who's on life support, and one day they got up and ate porridge, and then the next day they were back to taking nothing but food out of a straw, and we're all kind of going, hey, the porridge, yay! It's I get why people are bored. I do get it. Although for me, again, it's convenient. I don't care. It's a convenience factor.
That's more my point, is what I'm trying to get at, is the fact that it is August. It's just like when the first multi-event hit and it was December, it was easy and people were complaining. I'm like, hey, it's freaking December. How many thousands of things do you have going on in your life right now that you really don't want to be spending? Because if it was harder, we'd be hearing people complain every 5 seconds that it's too hard, they can't finish. So, that's kind of where I am with this. It's easy, but it's August, and I'm glad that it's easy. I would have preferred this last
people
August.
into I have nothing else in my life, and I have too many things in my life. If somebody was actually complaining about being bored and this game doesn't do it for me anymore, it's like, okay, what else are you doing? Go out and do something, have some fun, come back. Let's see you in a month. Take it easy.
But I definitely think this could have just been a mini event. I probably would have preferred if they switched this and Flanders Family Reunion, made the Flanders Family Reunion a little bit longer and the Babies event a little bit shorter.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah.
But I mean, how do you guys feel? Oh, Saf's thinking about it.
I don't know about that one. I mean, I like this event. I like
Well,
it's a lot of content for a mini event if you wanted to get all these characters in, all these buildings and everything in.
it's true, but you could have done like one prize as all the Simpsons families. But I mean, how do you guys feel about getting on the prize track returning premium characters or donuts as your prize? Like, it's a little
Lame.
weird. It's.
Lame.
I mean, I'd rather that than a land token at this point, because with Golden Goose Realty, I've got plenty of land tokens. But I know there are people who don't have Golden Goose and would have loved to have land tokens instead.
Right.
And at this point, 12 donuts, 6 donuts, 700 donuts, is it really going to make much difference for a lot of folks?
No.
You know, the donut farmers.
I wish we could like gift people land tokens, because I got one in a daily prize daily challenge the other day. It's like, oh, thanks. I have like, I don't know how many I haven't used, you know? And I know a lot of the people are really, I don't know why they don't bring back the Golden Goose. That's the dumbest thing. Bring it back. Charge them $9.99. They'd make a mint.
Well, they can't charge cash after they just made it premium, I wouldn't think, anyway. I don't know.
It's EA. They can do anything they want.
I'm just surprised people didn't buy it in general when it came out. That's more shocking to me. But anyway, so getting back to what I was saying, as far as the prize tracks, you've got repetitive premium characters as your prizes. So for Act 3, which is, going on now, well, going on tomorrow, but when you watch this, it'll be going on now, Bleeding Gums Murphy in the Jazz Hole. We all were screaming to get Bleeding Gums Murphy in the Jazz Hole. It was expensive when it came out. Now it's on the prize track. Now, I'm not complaining that I paid donuts for it. Now it's on the prize track. That's not. I'm just saying, it could have a little less lame prize. Yeah.
It's lazy. Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what it is.
I get it because they need it for the storyline. They're trying to tie Bleeding Gums back into the quest line and the dialogue and everything. But I mean, there's ways you could do that without bringing him back and putting something different in there.
Yeah, I mean, at least make him pay something with a bonus pack or something.
Mm-hmm.
Make it consistent.
I have no issues with them putting a premium character we've already purchased as a prize track. It is lazy, I agree, but personally, I have no ill will to EA. I'm like, hey, I paid 300 donuts, and now it's free prize, and I'm only in 12 donuts. Yeah, no hard feelings about that whatsoever. I got to enjoy them for the past, year and a half.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you as far as having Bleeding Gums. I just think it's lazy to not come up with something else. That's all. Put it in the yearbook. Put it somewhere where it makes more sense to have it ahead of time. And it's kind of weird for them to write a prize track on something that not everybody has in the first place. I mean, not a prize track. I mean, a quest line.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I mean, they've done it before. People were saying, have they ever done this before? They've done it before with Kodos and Kang.
Yeah.
They were premium when they first came out.
Time ago.
Yeah, well, they were premium when they first came out, and then I remember Kang, the first Halloween, he was premium. You had to spend a ton of donuts to get him, shoot him down, all that fun stuff. Then the second Halloween, because they wanted to bring him back in dialogue or with tasks and stuff, he was free. He was automatically given to you, and you had to pay for Kodos with donuts. And then you pay for Kodos with donuts, and then a couple years later, they had the Regalian Halloween event, and you got Kodos and Kang for free. So
yeah.
It's not.
I'm with Safi though. I think being able to enjoy some of those characters for whatever length of time you had it is worth it. I mean, that doesn't bother me.
Pat, I remember how thrilled you were in 2013 when this is back when in 2013 when we liked each other. Then after this, we didn't like each other very much.
What? That sounded weird.
So the very first Halloween, apparently.
2013 Halloween, when we were on good terms. This is before the Meatball Story came out. The Italian restaurant thing. Anyway, back when we were on good speaking terms.
Anyway, yes.
You were so excited when Kodos came out, and you were finally able to spend donuts. You had the donuts to get the stupid spaceship and the laser beam and shoot him down. And then you were so mad when the spaceship disappeared. Wait, I shot him down. Now I don't have a spaceship anymore. I remember that so distinctly.
I was really ticked. It was like, well, and then they came out with the ray gun that I ended up putting in the playground, because what playground doesn't need a actual firing ray gun that still shoots, but it doesn't shoot anything. So it's like, okay, this is really weird. I thought it was hilarious, and then it wasn't. It crashed, and now it's done. What? One time?
But I just
Reset.
remember your joy when you got that. So I'm like, that's what I related to. You know, you buy something you're so excited to get. You've got that joy, that moment, and then okay, a couple years later it goes on sale. You get it for free, whatever. That's what happens.
Yeah.
So the rest of the prizes on the prize track, you know, the buildings. What are your thoughts on those buildings, decorations?
Have a
Staff.
look at it.
For me, I'm enjoying it. Sorry, getting a little bit of lag here. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm enjoying the prize track. I'm enjoying the characters. Yeah, for me, I have no issues having multiple versions of the same character in our Springfield. Yeah, I mean, I threw out all sense of realism and all sense of morality or ethics, and when I started watching Simpsons, I know, like the whole Apu issue and all that. I mean, this is a show that's designed to be offensive, so I don't take any offense with that. Likewise, I don't take any qualms with having 3 or 4 versions of Bart walking around our Springfield. I'm pretty happy to get these contents. I mean, I've had them in my bracket battles before, different age versions of these characters, so that's always a plus for me. I'm happy with the amount of characters that are in this event, actually. I know, like Pat will argue that they're not new characters, but yeah, I still
Don't
like
put
it.
words in my mouth. How dare you?
He knows you well enough.
I read the post from the Friday filler.
Look, Pat, somebody reads what you write.
Unfortunately, a lot of people read what I write, then write me offline. How dare you? I know you're not going to put this in the comments, so.
Joe, what are your thoughts as far as the other?
Yeah, we shouldn't be surprised that EA did another Jazz Hole move. So, yeah, I think Jazz Hole is a last name and their first name is Hugh. So, you know, it's fine. And I mean, I was started while Safi was talking. I was thinking about how we used to complain that how many skins does Homer need? And then all of a sudden they're like, fine, no more skins, all new characters. Barbarian Homer is real and Baby Homer is real. And it's like, it's one or the other. It's either a skin where you pick or your town is populated by Hugh and his jazz holes.
I mean, that's a good point.
Try to get me to take that bait. I'm not taking it, Safi. You and me, we're all going to be polite while he goes off in jazz hole land.
It's just such a good word. It's perfect for any
Yeah,
sort of
I understand. I understand.
Use it on the next filler, Pat.
No, the thing, I don't know. I mean, I see where you're going, and I do agree with you that people complained about the too many skins. The difference with skins, though, is you get to choose. So I have them all. I have many, 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 many skins, but I can choose when Homer uses the snowblower. I can't choose when Baby Homer suddenly bumps into real Homer standing next to Grandpa Homer or whatever is next. You know, they're going to have like the next one's be geriatric Simpsons.
I would like to point out that technically you could choose by storing in your storage, but anyways.
No, that's true. No, it's true, but I don't actually store any of my characters that I get, so I do let them wander.
That's a choice.
The better one would be though when Baby Lisa bumps into Big Lisa, who bumps into President Lisa, who bumps into Angel Lisa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Talk about mind.
What does Caveman Mo
Inception.
think of Baby Mo?
It's the circle of Lisa life.
You got like Joe just said, you got Caveman Mo bumps into Baby Mo.
Yeah.
And Baby Mo serves lemonade. What happens if Baby Mo goes to Moe's Express instead of Moe's Express lemonade and starts serving beer to Baby Barney? Maybe that's what happened to Barney.
Yeah.
No, we know it.
Ran into the wrong express stand.
I blame all the stupid Flanders is.
If only they put Jose in the game, everything would be right with the world. So I was going to let Pat kind of go off on a rant about getting baby versions of The Simpsons, but I feel like he kind of already did.
Done.
What a jazz
And
hole.
now we're done.
Excuse me, I'm looking for Jazz Hole, first name Hugh. Hey, is there a Jazz Hole here?
No, what's weird
I'm
at
not
my
taking the
age?
bait,
What's
but
weird at my age is that you'll go back and you'll look at different incarnations of yourself. You know, grade school, junior high, high school, college, blah 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 blah, and they might as well be completely different people. I mean, you would not recognize me in high school. I mean, I look completely different. So
I mean, I hope
is
you
what
didn't have white hair in high school, but then again,
I had gray hair in at the end of college, so that was starting to show up. But no, I was just a whole. I looked like a high school.
you were a Jazz Hole.
I was a jazz hole. I was in band.
Mr. Hugh?
I was in the band and the concert choir. Yeah, I was a jazz hole, baby.
Once a jazz hole, always a jazz hole.
That's right.
And don't forget your time on the Quidditch team. I mean, we do have the picture of you as
Oh
the
man.
Oh yeah, when he was a snitch.
snitch, the golden snitch.
Well, on that note, it's been lovely seeing everyone's smiling face. And I think we'll end this episode on that lovely Jazz Hole night note, I should say. It's very appropriate. Ended on a Jazz Hole note.
How about we all do jazz hands as we say, "Oh yeah."
See you later, jazz holes.
Yeah, you jazz hole. Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Well, on that note, all the more reason to say goodbye. So we will see everyone on the next show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being a part of the Addicts community. Enjoy the rest of Simpsons Babies, and we will see you guys on the next show. Good night, Jazz Holes.
Good night, jazz holes.
Thanks for listening. Remember, you can always catch us at TSTOaddicts.com for everything TSTO, The Simpsons, and beyond. You can also find us on Twitter and Facebook at TSTOaddicts. Until next time, friends.